As y'all might be aware, Russia recently did its first mobilization since World War II. And predictably, this has caused a bit of chaos in Russia, as not everyone likes a draft and not everyone wants to go fight in Ukraine. So there are a large segment of the population who is attempting to get out of this draft. Now, there are two primary ways they're trying to get out. Those that want to stay in Russia are trying to get documents which say, hey, I'm not medically fit for duty. And then there's another segment who are trying to flee the country. Now, as you can imagine, such a desperate situation has created quite the opportunity for scammers. And so the first thing that's happening is there have been a large number of scammers who've created fake websites on the dark web in particular, trying to sell these medical exemption forms, and then even promising to go in and change the database so that recruiters wouldn't even come looking for these individuals. Now, they charge a very suspiciously low price of $470, and then they take the money and run. And and what's very interesting about these scams too is because they're preying on people that are desperate, they're going to take risks that they might not normally. And then on top of that, when they take the money and run, the target can't do anything about it, because what are you going to do? Go to the police and say, hey, I was trying to illegally get out of this draft. Can you go find these hackers, right? So they get in this crunch where they don't feel able to report these crimes. And so it really creates this awful situation where desperate people are getting taken advantage of. Now, the other group of people, those trying to flee the country, have increasingly been turning to burner phones, essentially, because one method that the Russian government has of tracking individuals, the military age, is tracking their phone, because, they can give themselves a warrant for that. So gray SIM cards are SIM cards, say, that a third party will buy and then sell on places like eBay or other online marketplaces. And oftentimes, these SIM cards do not require any sort of identification. So it's those cheap mobile phones. You plug in the SIM card and it's got 60 minutes or 120 minutes or, some number of minutes on it that you can use. So these have increasingly become popular. But, as in the game of cat and mouse, the Russians got onto this, and now they're starting to use the IMEI, which is like a unique identification number that is ingrained in each cellular modem to track individual phones, even if they're not already associated with a person. And this has been used for a long time in things such as rogue cell towers, femtocells. They go by many names. But every time your phone communicates, it uses this unique identification number so the cell tower knows who it's talking to and can return requests. But now the border guards are linking the IMI or IMEI number of phones with people as they leave the country so that they can track them even if they have a gray SIM card. And this isn't the first time countries have done this sort of thing. Journalists visiting Iran, for instance, have the similar thing done. Or going into other countries, you'll have your phone search. So it is an important reminder, for people going to some of these countries to use a burner phone, but a burner phone isn't always perfect.
One interesting thing to note with the story also is that this technology is a standard,
Mhm.
but it is not a universal standard. So there are some phones out there that allow you to change the IMEI because they store it in a region of memory which is rewritable, and that is in complete violation of the standard. However, nobody's put them in handcuffs yet, so you can get a phone that allows you to rewrite this portion of the memory, which is super interesting. But it is like mostly Chinese manufacturers, and again, it is in violation of the way the standard was laid out for it. But that's why, standards, they're just a suggestion.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all the news we have time for today. If you have a question, please make sure to leave it on our YouTube channel, and we will answer it live on our Wednesday Q&A next week with either Michael, our cryptozoology expert, or Alex, our prototyping and hacking expert. A big shout out to Veronis for letting us do this stream every week. If you like it, make sure to comment on the LinkedIn, the YouTube. Let them know that you like the stream, and we will keep doing it. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.